She is like a mountain, old and strong, she goes on and
Aggie Yakubska arrived on Tuesday, invited by the Ottawa disarmament organization Women's Action for Peace.
What a reception.
The first woman she met, other than her hosts, was Ottawa Mayor Marion Dewar, who also supports disarmament. Yakubska says women seem to be more active in the peace movement because they're less concerned with their egos than men are.
I think women are much more prepared to be cooperative with each other and with other people, whereas men are socialized to being always competitive in everything they do and to be aggressive in the way they approach people they see to be their opponents.
Last night, Yakubska met a few more people concerned about disarmament. She described some of the activities of Greenham Peace Camp women.
We live in these things. They're very organic. You can add extensions, verandas, make them tall enough to stand up in.
The women are camped outside a United States base at Greenham Common in Britain.
They're surrounded by 5 concentric fences, and the further you look in, the less vegetation you see.
In the 2 years the Greenham women have been working together, they've carried out more than 24 actions for disarmament. They protested against the people who make money on the arms race at the London Stock Exchange. Their die-in tied up traffic for a planned 15 minutes during rush hour.
Inside this building, men are controlling the money which will make this a reality.
They let out a howl when Ronald Reagan pleaded with British Parliament to accept the cruise on British soil. Greenham women occupied a sentry box on the military base, and a year ago, 30,000 women encircled the base, supported by men who cooked, looked after the kids, and made a lot of hot chocolate.
It was a very cold and wet day, and we really appreciated that. And we couldn't have done without their help. Before, I was angry and pulling my hair out, thinking, what the hell can I do about the situation?
Yakubska says she first got involved out of anger.
Since living at the camp, I've learned how to feel a bit more positive and being part of the kinds of actions that we've done. I've begun to discover the strength inside me and to link up with that strength that each one of us has.
Did you experience much opposition?
Some wondered if locals working on the base harassed the woman.
They started off by throwing rocks and stones at our tents while we were sleeping inside them. Then they went on to blood and guts from a slaughterhouse, and bucketfuls of maggots were thrown over our tents. And they would throw inflammable liquids at the tents and try to set light to them.
I just want to know what keeps you going. I mean, the newspapers won't give you the proper coverage, or they give you adverse coverage. The missiles are there now, yet you keep going on. What is it?
I think it's the basic belief that we're right. And we get a strength out of that, and a strength in knowing that there are so many other women, and lots of people who feel the same as we do.
Yakubska's idea that the West should disarm first was threatening to some of the men at the meeting.
At the same time, I'd like to see lots of emphasis placed on the missiles that are in the Soviet Union and also the Soviet bloc country, which is pointing at Western Europe.
It doesn't matter what label they've got on them, whether it's a hammer and sickle or a stars and stripes, they're just as destructive. The ones that we've got to deal with in our own country happen to have the label with the stars and stripes on.
Yakubska's view was shared by others.
How much more vulnerable can we be than we are when we base all of our security as nations on total annihilation? I mean, to me, that is ultimate vulnerability.
After the discussion, Yakubska exchanged addresses with local women who support Greenham. And just before everyone left, something frequently present in the women's peace movement, an optimistic song.
joy is flowing like a river, flowing out through you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free.
Yakubska leaves Ottawa tomorrow. I'm Chris Brown for Newsday.